Hola, clase. Happy Thursday. Okay, it's your end of the week. All right, today we're going to take some new notes on stem changing verbs. Stem changing verbs in Spanish is verbos con cambios radicales. That's how you say it. You're going to hear me say it. These are new verbs. You've already had them for vocab. They conjugate just a little bit differently than what we've done with all our regular verbs. It's a type of irregular. So make sure you download the note sheet for stem changers and fill that in because we are going to start. All right? Stem changers. There are 4 types of stem changers in Spanish. Okay? Here's E to IE, O to UE, E to I, and U to UE. Okay? And today we're going to talk about inside the boot and why these verbs are also sometimes called boot verbs. Sometimes shoe verbs, sometimes boot verbs, always stem changers. Okay, today, out of these 4, we're going to talk about one specific type of stem changer, the E to IE stem changer. Okay, that's the largest group of stem changers in the Spanish language. In this unit, I think there are only 7, and you need to write those down. You have to memorize what they are. All right, preferir is one. Okay, to prefer. Empezar is an E to IE stem changer. It is to begin. Querer is to want, another stem changer, E to IE. Perder, to lose, another E to IE stem changer. Pensar, to plan or to think. Comenzar, to start or to begin. Look, there are 2 of them there, empezar and comenzar. They're interchangeable just like they are in English. One's to start, one's to begin, but we use them both the same. Okay? Cerrar, to close. And entender. Entender is to understand. All of these have a change in the stem of the verb. Okay, remember the stem of the verb is when you take off your part that means to. That's AR, ER, or IR. When you take those endings off, what you're left with is your stem. Up to this point, those stems have stayed the same. And then you've added new endings. OAS A, amos ais an, OS E, amos ais en. Okay, now it's going to change, but only in certain places. Now, the fun part about this, there's no clue as to which verbs are stem changers and which verbs are not. So while you're memorizing your vocab, you've got to memorize it as preferir, to prefer. It is an E to IE stem changer. Okay? Sorry. That is the only way to know which verb is a stem changer. Eventually you'll know it just through use because it sounds right, but to start out, you got to memorize it. All right, we're going to start with the verb preferir. Look, I've got a boot already on my page. You'll see why in a minute. This is why it's called a boot verb. Now, preferir, when I take that IR off, it looks like prefer in English. Okay? This one has 2 E's in the stem. Anytime you have that issue with a verb, once you take the ending off, there are 2 E's and you know it's an E to IE stem changer, it will always be the one closest to the ending. So it is this E, the one that I've got in pink here. Preferir. I'm going to change that E to IE every place inside the boot. And then I'm going to put my normal endings for an IR verb. Okay, so if it's inside the boot, this E, when I write out my verb, is going to change to an IE, and then I'm going to add my ending. So I prefer is going to be prefiero. Okay, it's not prefero, it's prefiero because it's a stem changer, E to IE. Have my regular IR ending for yo there. All right, tú is also inside the boot, so it gets the stem change, E to IE, and then my tú ending for an IR verb. What is that? Prefieres. Okay? El ella usted, that's inside the boot. So that E is going to change to an IE, and I'm going to put my regular ending for an IR verb for he or she. What would that be? Prefiere. Okay? We, the nosotros form, is outside the boot, so it does not get the stem change. Nosotros and vosotros, they are both outside the boot. You do not stem change those in present indicative tense ever. Those will always be regular. Okay? Even though it's a stem changing verb, all stem changing verbs are regular in nosotros and vosotros, so you do not change that E. It's going to be regular with your ending. All right, so we prefer would be what? Preferimos. All right, what about y'all prefer? Again, outside the boot, so it's regular. It does not stem change. Preferís. And then for ellos, ellas, ustedes, I'm back inside the boot. That's the toe of my boot right here. So it does stem change. That E will change to an IE, and then I'll have my ellos, ellas, ustedes ending for an IR verb. What would that be? Prefieren. Okay? So there's an E to IE stem changer. The reason it's called a boot verb because we've got lots of visual learners out there, and that tends to help them. Everything inside the boot changes, everything outside does not. Okay, if you're not visual, or if it's just easier for you, you can say everything except for nosotros and vosotros changes. Whatever's easier for you, just as long as you get it right. All right? Again, do not stem change in nosotros, vosotros. Doing another one. Querer. Querer is to want. It's the one we've used desear, which is a regular AR verb, for to want. Querer is the one that's used most often for to want. Once I take this ER off, I only have one E that changes. So that's the only one that can be E to IE. Only happens inside the boot, not outside. Regular ER endings. So I want is going to be quiero. E to IE, regular ER ending. You want, quieres. E to IE, regular ER ending. He or she wants, quiere. E to IE, regular ER ending. We want, queremos. Regular there, does not stem change because it is outside the boot. Vosotros, y'all want, queréis. Does not stem change, it's outside the boot. Everything except for nosotros and vosotros. These two will always be regular. All right? They want, quieren, back inside the boot. E to IE, regular ER verb, ER ending. Okay, again, remember, everything except for nosotros and vosotros will stem change. If you're visual, use the clue here, your visual clue as a boot. Everything inside the boot changes, outside does not. All right, let's practice this. Stop the video so you can write these down. Come back and check your answers as I'm going to go ahead and go over it. Do you prefer tacos or pizza? Okay, prefer is a stem changing verb, and I'm going to conjugate it for you. ¿Prefieres tacos o pizza? Remember that do has to be there in English. It doesn't exist in Spanish, not as an interrogative. Okay, so it's not there. They want to go to the mountains. What is that going to be? Ellos, if you want it. Quieren ir a las montañas. They want is ellos quieren. To go does not get conjugated. Sorry. To go is ir. Quieren ir a las montañas. All right. We plan to see the Avengers in the movie theater. Pensamos ver the Avengers en el cine. Remember, we plan. We does not stem change. Okay, we plan, pensamos. Ver is to see, so it doesn't get conjugated, and then the rest of your sentence. Ana understands the homework. Ana entiende la tarea. Entender is to understand. It is a stem changer, and it does stem change for Anna. Okay, got some more practice for you. I have a worksheet that I want you to download from my documents page. It's called Stem Changer Practice E to IE. Complete it, share it with me. This is what it looks like. Alright, first part, you're just telling me what these verbs mean in English, and then you're going to conjugate them as per the subjects. Remember, when it's a question, your subject comes after. Alright, that's it. As always, email me if you have any questions. Have a great weekend. Adios.